Evans, moving on to another big topic, immigration. For more than 2 decades, immigration reform has failed to pass under several presidents, Democrat and Republican. My question to you is, are you willing to reach across the aisle and reach consensus? Because the reality is that's the only way immigration reform is going to pass Congress. Are you willing to reach across the aisle?
Absolutely, and I think I would be thrilled to do that, because I think that right now, this is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue, and I think that, I heard someone say something that there's no Republican pothole to fill or no Democrat, light post or light to fix. Really, it's just about the people in the community, whether it's in a city or whether it's across a congressional district. This is an issue that needs to serve our constituencies in our districts right now, and we need to take partisanship out of it. I think Republicans and Democrats have failed on the issue. Just to be direct with you, Republicans and Democrats have failed on the issue, and I really believe that we need to forge a new path and we need change. And I think that sometimes people feel like there's got to be an either or. It's either this or this. But I would say we can actually secure the border. We can do it compassionately. We can make sure we are, making sure we're also giving an opportunity for refugees under political or religious persecution. And we can find a way to have a compassionate and legal working immigration system in our country. My mother-in-law is an immigrant from Taiwan. I love immigration, and we need to make sure we have a good immigration system. But again, when we look at the southern border, which right now we've had millions and millions and millions and millions of people. We've heard estimates of 6 or 7 million, even above 10 million. The past 3.5 years depends upon who you talk to, but an incredibly amount of illegal immigrants coming across the border and then being caught and then released into the interior with a court date years later on. That doesn't make sense. And I think we all know that. And so we need to go ahead, secure our southern border by ending catch and release, build a border barrier, and then making sure we have asylum adjudications that are very, very quick, so that those who do qualify for asylum get their answer quickly, and those who don't get their answer very quickly. But I believe we can do this, and I think that with respect to Congressman Foster, he's been in office for 14.5 years now, running for his 9th term. He's been mainly under Democrat presidents, and he voted against H.R. 2. Which actually would have secured the border with a border barrier, ending catch and release, stopping human trafficking, all these things, and he voted against that. I disagree with that. I think it's time for a change. I think we need to go ahead, focus on what's best for the people in our district. Forget partisanship, forget extremism. Let's focus on what's right for people here in our area.
Mr. Evans, you said you wanted to end catch and release. What exactly would the alternative be? Would you turn down migrants coming to the border? Would we cap asylum refugees, the number that can come in? How would we address, ending catch and release, but still being able to allow people seeking refuge? Yeah,
great question. I think we need to go back to a previous policy we used to have, which was a remain in the first safe nation policy. So whether you're coming from Mexico or whether someone's coming from South America or another nation, because we do know that we have had almost every nation on earth come through the southern border. And that was something that surprised me. But wherever they're coming from, they need to remain in the first safe country as they apply for asylum, so that, of course, they're safe where they're at, but they can then get their asylum claim adjudicated. And so that way we don't have people caught and then let into the interior for 5 or 10 years before they actually get adjudication, which of course doesn't make sense. And so I think we go back to that policy. I think that's the best approach. And again, we shouldn't have a policy where we're ultimately allowing any illegal immigrants into our country and then waiting for a court date years on end. That's just not a working system. I think we all know that. Because those illegal immigrants have a difficult plight while they're waiting to figure things out. And so wait in the first safe country, get your asylum claim adjudicated much, much quicker. We need to have much more investment in quick asylum adjudication, and as well as much more clearer laws on how to do that quickly and appropriately within the confines of the law. And also that's also going to be something that ultimately, when we have a working southern border, when we have a secure southern border, one of the soft spots that I have has to do with human trafficking. I hate human trafficking. There are little boys and girls being trafficked who are missing in this country. I think in the hundreds of thousands who've come across the border, and we don't know where they are. And that's so horrible. That has to stop as well. For me, I care tremendously about the poor and those in need, and we need to help those children.
And you mentioned reaching consensus with the other side of the aisle. Would you consider consensus on a path to citizenship to Dreamers or other amnesty programs where currently they may not have a direct path to legal residency?
So when I look at what's happening with Dreamers, again, those young kids came across basically probably to no fault of their own. They were just coming with a parent. And so, for me, I'm open to a path or the conversation to a path to legalization specifically for Dreamers because of the nature of what's going on with their situation.
Very well said.